You know, for decades, there's been this one book that's kind of served as a portal to a world that, well, it almost defies belief. It's Paramahansa Yogananda's Autobiography of a Yogi. Now, sure, it's a spiritual classic, but it's also packed with stories that challenge the very fabric of our reality. So, in this explainer, we're going to dig into some of its most mind-bending claims and try to uncover the hidden universal laws it says we can all tap into.
So let's kick things off with a quote. But not from a mystic or a yogi, but from a really famous 20th century physicist, Sir Arthur Eddington. His big idea was that this solid world we see all around us, it's basically a shadow play. He argued that the real substance of the universe is something totally different, something he even called mind stuff.
And that idea brings us right to the heart of Yogananda's book. What if this whole world of shadows thing wasn't just some big idea for philosophers? What if it was a tangible reality you could actually perceive and maybe even control? The autobiography basically presents itself as proof of an ancient science developed by yogis to do just that.
So what kind of proof are we talking about here? Well, we're about to step into a world of wonders, filled with stories that seem to just completely defy logic and everything we think we know about cause and effect.
Okay, get this story from Yogananda's childhood. After his sister was teasing him, he basically willed a boil to pop up on his own arm overnight, and at the same time he supposedly made his sister's boil double in size. According to the book, it happened exactly like he said it would. It's one of the first clues that maybe, just maybe, reality is a bit more flexible than we think.
And the claims in the book aren't just about people. Here we see a Swami with his pet lioness, who he apparently trained to be a vegetarian. She'd only eat rice and milk. But even crazier than that, he said she was trained to utter the sacred sound Om in this deep, guttural growl.
And the stories just keep getting more unbelievable. One of the most famous ones is about Yogananda's own guru, Sri Yukteswar. The book says that multiple people saw and talked with him in the city of Serampore, while at the exact same moment, Yogananda was having a totally separate conversation with him in Calcutta, miles and miles away. So, how is any of this possible? Well, the book argues these things aren't just random glitches in the matrix. Nope. They're actually operating according to a much deeper principle, a hidden set of rules that Yogananda calls the law of miracles.
And here's the absolute core idea. We're not talking about magic tricks. The book's whole point is that what we call a miracle is just what happens when someone understands the universe's true operating system and knows how to, rewrite the code.
And the key to that whole operating system is a single concept called Maya. According to the book, Maya is the cosmic illusion. It's the force that makes us see the universe as a bunch of separate things, separate people, separate events, instead of the one unified thing it really is. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got the world of Maya. It's defined by opposites, right? Good and evil, pleasure and pain, birth and death. But the book says that just behind that illusion is the world of spirit, a reality where everything is just one. A yogi, then, is someone who learns to see past all the static on the screen to the pure signal that's underneath. The book uses this amazing metaphor to make it all clear. The universe is a cosmic motion picture. All the dramas of our lives are just like images projected from a single, unified beam of light. And Maya is the film itself, the thing that creates the illusion of all these separate characters and stories. So a yogic master isn't breaking any laws. They're more like a master film editor. They're not defying the physics of the projector. They just understand the light rays themselves, the creative energy that's forming the movie in the first place. And by working with that energy at its source, they can basically edit the film of reality in ways that look totally miraculous to the rest of us sitting in the audience.
Okay, so that leads us to the practical part, the how. The book isn't just a bunch of philosophy. It actually presents a specific, scientific method for getting this kind of mastery over the forces of Maya. And that method is called Kriya Yoga.
So how does this science actually work? Well, the book breaks down a pretty precise technique. It all starts with the breath. The idea is, by calming your breathing, you start to calm down that restless life force that keeps your attention glued to the outside world. This lets you pull that energy away from your senses and point it inward. And the ultimate goal? To shift your identity from this physical body to the pure, unified spirit inside.
The book draws this really fascinating line between how fast we breathe and our state of mind. Think about it. A restless monkey takes over 30 breaths a minute, while a super long-lived tortoise takes maybe 4. The yogic idea here is simple. The calmer your breath, the calmer your mind. And by deliberately slowing the breath down to almost nothing, a yogi can supposedly reach higher states of awareness and even live longer.
And this brings us right back to where we started, with modern physics. The book's biggest claim is that thousands of years ago, these ancient yogis, using their own inner science, came to the exact same conclusion that physicists like Eddington were just starting to figure out with math, that the basic stuff of the universe isn't matter, it's mind stuff.
So once you start to see reality this way, it totally changes your perspective on one of life's biggest questions. What happens after we die? According to Yogananda, death isn't some final end. It's just a transition of consciousness.
The book actually maps out the soul's journey after it leaves the body. It starts here, on Earth, in our physical body. At the moment of death, the soul just sheds this outer layer and moves into a much more subtle astral body, which is made of light. From there, it can move to an even finer causal body, where it exists as just a pure idea. And this journey continues until the individual soul finally merges back into the one cosmic spirit it came from.
So after all of this, the miracles, the cosmic laws, life after death, what's the ultimate point of the whole journey described in this book? What's the end game?
Well, the book makes it super clear that all the flashy powers, the so-called cities, they're not the goal. They're just side effects of a much, much deeper change. The real purpose isn't to get supernatural abilities at all.
Because the greatest miracle of all isn't bending the laws of physics. It's self-realization. It's that direct, personal experience that your own individual consciousness is, and actually always has been, one and the same with the universal consciousness that creates and runs everything.
And this is probably the book's most empowering message. This ultimate realization isn't some special gift for a chosen few. It's presented as something anyone can achieve, a science that's available to anybody who's willing to put in the effort, no matter what their background is or what they believe.
Ultimately, this book flips the whole script and turns the lens of exploration inward, suggesting that our own mind, our own consciousness, is the real final frontier. The question it leaves us with isn't really about whether you believe these incredible stories, but rather, what hidden realities are just waiting to be discovered inside of you.